What is up, everybody? Today we are diving back into some lightning content. I am just getting so hyped for this truck. Anyways, if you're not familiar with the channel, I have recently taken delivery of my Model Y, my Tesla car. So with this delivery, I had three big epiphanies that I think will directly relate to the Lightning. Now, why make this video? Mostly because I think the statistic is something like 70% of the people who reserved the Ford Lightning, it's actually their first EV. And I would have been one of those people if I didn't take this Model Y before eventually I'll be getting the Lightning once I trade it in. So, it's things that I kind of already knew. So a lot of the stuff you probably already know, but the reality of it is a lot different than just like the way we talk about it. This will all make sense when I get into these three items. You know what? So let's just do that. Why listen to me talking? Okay, so the first big thing I want to talk about, excuse me, it actually probably has more to do with anyone who drives in cold weather. So if you're from Michigan like me, any other northern states where you're actually dealing with a lot of cold weather. So I recently did a winter range test in my Tesla Model Y, and I found that you lose about 25% of your estimated range. And now that's in the conditions of using your heat and just driving a car like you normally would. So it's not super scientific, but you can safely estimate that you would lose about 25%, at least in the Tesla. So there's always a chance that Ford does a better job with range loss, but just keep that in mind when I get into this point. So for me anyways, I'm interested in probably getting the regular battery on the Ford Lightning, which, as we have read, the EPA estimate is 230 miles. So if we do a 25% loss on that, we're really close to about, well, like 190, 180. And that's, again, a total estimate. But when you think about that, that's really hard to do. It's really hard to do unless you have a full charging station at your house or a quick charger really close by. Like, that is a significant loss. So especially if you are having your truck weighed down with equipment, if you are hauling anything, that 25% gets even lower. Now, there's an important thing that we probably have all heard about the estimates actually being with 1,000 pounds of cargo in the truck. So that could be the saving grace here, is that they're kind of already estimating for either winter range. You can kind of use that as your winter range loss, like kind of buffer, as well as like if you're hauling stuff too. So hopefully Ford has already thought of that, but it's something to really keep a close eye out. And as soon as we have these on the streets, we're really going to have to start testing them out so we know that actual range. Because I don't know, if you're using this as like a work truck or something you're driving around all day, that is so important. And I do want to quickly mention, because I always get a comment when I mention the Ford Lightning range, about MKBHD, Marquez Brownlee, who did a awesome Lightning review where he found that it's actually way over what they're estimating. Because I don't know the exact numbers he pulled, but it was looking really good. And he was the first person to say the range on this is actually excellent. Now, the only caveat I really want to make sure we look at is that was the best of the best. That was the top trim platinum, plus it was pre-production. So, just imagine all the things that have changed since then, and really keep an open mind for when actual consumer vehicles are like being released. So I really hope that's the case. I'm just being a little pessimistic for the sake of us really considering all of our options. So that was the first thing, preparing for winter driving and the range loss that comes with it. And now, again, maybe that doesn't affect you. Maybe you are a person who's just like it's your grocery driver or whatever it is, and you're putting on under 50 miles like a week or something like that. Then you lucked out. Then that's still fine, and that's not an issue. But this next thing I really want to talk about, it relates to people who go on road trips at all, or plan on using this even like once a month or once every 2 months to travel. And this was a big thing that hit me with my Tesla. So I went home recently for Christmas, and when I got home, I had no places to charge. So if you're familiar with just the standard charger you get with the car, you add literally 3 miles per hour of charging. So that means all through the night, at the most, you're adding like 20% of the battery back. It's not practical, especially if you use most of your battery getting there and then need to get home. You have to rely on public charging. And even Teslas in Michigan, at least, are not everywhere. It's hard to find them. Like, I had to end up driving about 15 or 20 minutes to a different town, charge there, come back, use up even more of my mileage just to be able to get home. So that's what made me inspire this whole video, to be honest, because I was like, man, if I was in a Ford Lightning right now, I don't know what I'd do, because I need to find a fast charger to get home. And this is the main point I want to bring up is, right now, Google, I recommend Electrify America and ChargePoint. They're two big brands that will support the Ford F-150 Lightning. And now, don't just make sure there's a charger nearby. Make sure there's one that outputs at least 150 kilowatts per hour. And here's why. Because I tried using a 50 kilowatt charger on my Tesla, and it takes forever. Like, yes, it's way faster than that home charger we have, but 50 kilowatts per hour is barely, like, if that's like the max, you're not going to get to the max at that charger, because, you know, it's just either the grid it's tapped into, or if there's two people charging instead of just one, like, you won't actually hit that 50. So for instance, I've done 2 so far, and on average, I was getting about 15 miles added per hour. So if I was on a road trip, I would have to stay there for almost like 2 hours just to get home, maybe even longer. Now, I bring this up because there are some 150 kilowatt and even higher that you can use on the Ford Lightning, Mach-E's, and all of these cars, but you have to make sure they are located either on the route to places you frequently travel or at the places that you like your destination is. And I really think that is so important that you look this up right now if you plan on getting the Lightning at all, because at least Tesla has the network of like every 50 miles there's one somewhere. You're kind of shooting in the dark of actually finding one capable of a charger capable of enough of keeping you on the road without having to pull over for like 2 or 3 hours. The difference is literally like 3x the time. So I can like fill up a lot of the battery on a supercharger, the Tesla ones that are giving out up to 150 kilowatts per hour. These are charging me in like 20 minutes and I have almost a full battery. And it's the difference of that or waiting there an hour or 2 hours. So I just really think that's so important, and especially with like the lack of like reliable charging right now, because half of them are broken. I've already found there's ones that are like totally just don't work, and I have barely owned my car for a week. So I really think I just want to drive this point in so hard, because you hear people talk about it, but actually living it, it was just an absolute wake-up call. So I'm giving you this wake-up call before you get super invested into this new vehicle. And now there has been recent news on the Lightning of the vehicle-to-vehicle charging, and that like even like the power boost could come and give you a charge on the road if you stall. So, you know, you have these backup options, which is just a great peace of mind. But I personally find range anxiety is a real thing, and you need to, it gets better. Like I've already gotten a little better, more confident, but just once you have to learn a lot about your specific vehicle and your driving habits. So watching these videos and everything, you really won't know like the exact experience. At least this is what I feel, until you like live the life. The third thing is about the technology that's planned for the Lightning. Now, this is something I've already talked about in theory, but now I can confirm it with real life. So my kind of grunt or whatever you want to call it with the Lightning is that unless you cross into the Lariat level trim, you're really not getting the full EV tech experience. The Pro and the XLT actually don't offer a lot of technology. Now, there's things I already am obsessed with about my Tesla that I will lose unless I buy like a Lariat or Platinum level Lightning. Now, the first one is what I complain about the most, and if you watch these videos like regularly, you already know what I'm going to say, and it's phone is key. I absolutely love this. Like, I can start my car. I can choose which heated seat to turn on. I can get it to the temperature I need, like all from my phone. Plus, when I walk in, I don't need a key because my phone is my key. Just having my phone near the car does everything for me. And that's not even a feature until you get to the Lariat level trim levels. And you can't even option into it. You can't even pay them more at the XLT level to get it. So that is just a huge swing and a miss on the Lightning. Another thing that comes standard with every Tesla is the tech when it comes to like autopilot, not full self-driving, but sorry, I'm referencing notes. That's why I'm looking down. But the adaptive cruise is that like second level on the Lightning, and it's optional at the XLT, but not even available at the Pro. And that's where you can get cruise control that will like stop and go with traffic, which I've already grown to like just love on the Tesla. This one's pretty obvious, but the 15-inch screen, I absolutely am falling in love with every day. And, again, you don't get that until the Lariat on the Lightning. Intelligent access kind of goes back to the phone as key. That's the feature on the Lightning that like, if you just have the key fob in the proximity, you walk up to the car and there's like either a button or it just senses you and you can just open the car without having to unlock. I love that. That's on my Jeep right now, and it's on my Tesla just because the phone is the key. That's only optioned in at the XLT, not available at the Pro level. Something that none of the Lightning trims have, as far as I know, is like the full suite of activities you can do while charging. Like I had no idea I would use that stuff on my Tesla, but I already love it. Like being able to watch Netflix and YouTube all on my screen. And as far as I know, like Ford could easily add this over time with updates, which is great. But right now they don't have that full suite of things. And, there's like a drawing pad and a couple minor things that come on the Lightning, but that doesn't really exist even close to the Tesla level. So having the activities and stuff to do in your car when you're charging is actually a pretty big thing to have, if you ask me. Now, the difference in the Lightning is it's big enough to carry around a laptop and stuff and edit videos or whatever you guys do when you're charging and have that work surface. So that kind of makes up for it, in my opinion. But it doesn't have that full suite built in. Now, all that being said, if you're buying at the Lariat or the higher level, you're getting a pretty cool car because it'll have all that stuff. And that's awesome because I've grown to like love these features in just a matter of a week, and saying goodbye to them to go to a lower, like even the things like standard, fake leather, but leather seats that I have and all of that stuff and power lift gate and just the works is just standard on a Tesla. Right. And then spending the same amount of money puts me at like a high level XLT, not even a Lariat, which is just bonkers. And that's going to be such a downgrade in so many like levels. Like, I don't know. It's probably a whole nother video. I'll have to talk about that, of just like, am I actually going to end up trading my Tesla for like a mid-trim Lightning? I still probably might, but again, we'll talk about it later. Anyway, that's all I have, guys. I just really wanted to get into that because it's been really on my mind since I bought this car. And hopefully, I think even next week or the week after, we might be getting people in to start ordering these and get some true pricing. That's going to open a lot of doors. So yeah, keep an eye out for all those videos to come. And then, we got a lot of stuff right around the corner. So we're going to hit this new year strong. If you guys are enjoying this stuff, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe and stick around. I'd love to have you. I'm excited. We're going to dive in this year. And I do plan on learning how to end videos by then. Hey, this is